Welcome to our Easy Essential evening.
Okay.
While we're waiting for everybody to join, could you just pop into the chat where you are joining us from around the country? If you can pop that into the chat, and if you could also mute yourself, that would be perfect. We'd love to know where you're joining us from around the country. Oh, Kyrie's come from Auckland, Mount Maunganui, Christchurch, Hamilton, Ethan. Oh, Tikawiti. Oh, Barbara. Hi, Barbara. I know Barbara. Good to see you here. Bye. Cool. Oh, Bay of Plenty. Great. Great to see you. Hopefully you are warm wherever you are around the country and dry. It might be raining where you are too. So hopefully you are nice and warm, and we can share with you tonight in this next hour a few little good recipes that you can add to your collection of recipes and give them all a try in your homes. My name is Zena. I am a team leader in our branch Kotahitanga, and I am going to be our host for tonight. And tonight, Billy and Kirsty are joining us, and I'm going to hand some time over to them as I hand the Zoom around to them to introduce themselves. So I've been a consultant with Thermomix for over 2 years, and I love being a team leader, and we're always looking for people to jump on our teams. So if you're thinking about jumping on a team, we'd love to have a chat with you. So we are going to start tonight with caramelized onions, and I am going to hand over to Kirsty. She's going to get started. If you've made caramelized onions already, can you put your hand up in your chat or just comment in the chat if you've ever made caramelized onions in your Thermomix? And I'm going to pass the time over to you, Kirsty.
Good day, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. I have put the recipes that I'm making tonight into my weekly planner, and so I've got it all prepared. I'm going to put 20 grams of oil into my bowl here. Then I'm going to add my pre-weighed onions into the bowl and splash guard. I knew I'd forget something. That out. I don't know where it is, so I'm going to get my memory basket. Now, doing the onions is using the high heats, so hence why I asked for the splash guard. Here we are, Zena.
Awesome. Thank you, Kirsty. How long are those going to be doing their thing?
20 minutes.
Okay, so we're going to go over to spend some time with Billy now, and we are going to, what are we making in your kitchen tonight, Billy?
Kia ora, I'm Billy. I'm based in Tukuroa, and I've been a team leader for 3 years with Thermomix for 4. The reason I joined the business was to have fun, and definitely having fun with some amazing people. Now tonight we're going to be making the mayo and the coleslaw. Have you made mayo? When we use this mayo, a lot of people say, what does it taste like? Well, it's pretty much like the Best Foods mayo. So if you like that, you're going to love this. Also, what I'm using is here, the grapeseed. This is the one I use, and I've tried a few, but this one seems to be the best brand I use for my mayo. So that's in my week, and we are going to go straight to it. Now tonight we had steamed dumplings, so you won't see my dumplings in my week, but that's such an easy thing to do with your Thermomix and using the aroma. So we've got the cooked mayo there. Now a great little tip that I've learned along the way is you can press the V there, and it can tell you all the prep time, the total time, the serving size, and then it can tell you all these other things. The nutrition. Now if that's something that tickles your fancy, it's got it all there. And you can also skip a step where you're up to. So I've already put my things into the mixing bowl and cracked 2 eggs, and I've put them aside. So I'm going to go here to step number 2, and that's going to come to that recipe. Now, a teaspoon of sea salt and vinegar. I've already pre-prepared that for us, popping that in. And then we are going to put the lid on. And again, as a safety instruction, we're going to pop on the simmering baskets. And that is going to cook away for 3 minutes.
Thanks, Billy. And just a tip, if any of us don't have grapeseed oil handy in our pantries, you can use any oil except olive oil. Olive oil will totally wreck it. So just be mindful. If you don't have, what oil are you using, Billy?
The grapeseed, yeah.
Grapeseed, yeah. If you don't have grapeseed oil, everybody, you can definitely use any oil except olive oil. That will work. Oh, probably not sesame oil, but you know what I mean. One of those other oils. Great, thank you for that. Now we're going to go back and we're going to hang up with Kirsty. Hang on, sorry, everybody. I'm trying to multitask here. We've just got more people jumping in. I'll just letting them in to our evening. Okay, dokie. So we're going to go over to Kirsty and she is going to make butter for us.
All right, just a side note, I use light olive oil for my mayonnaise. So I'm going to make butter now, which I'm then going to turn into ghee, but that's not part of tonight, just thought I'd mention that. Ghee is a really awesome thing to use when you're cooking and easy to make with a Thermomix, of course. So, and my weight, I've got butter, and I'm going to push start, and I'm going to put my butterfly whisk in, just in case you don't know how to put this in. I had a situation the other day. Our Thermomix blades have one that comes up and one that goes down. Your butterfly whisk sits just to the left of the blade that goes up, and it should just be able to lock in place. Quite a fine movement, I find. Okay, now I'm going to put 600 grams of my cream in. I wish you could smell through the phone. My onions smell amazing. Can you hear them sizzling? See?
Not quite, sorry.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to put my measuring cup lid on and I'm going to turn it around to 4 for 2 minutes while it whips my butter. I've got my chilled water already.
So, Kirsty, are you using fresh cream or are you using cream that's been in your fridge for a little while? Fresh cream? Okay. So it's not ready to expire though? It's not, you know.
No, but you can use cream that's about to expire.
Yeah, cool. I find personally that when I use cream that's ready to expire because it's a bit thicker, that it just makes it a bit more creamier. All right. Has anybody here made butter before in their Thermomix? If you can pop that into your comments. Be great to see. Kylie, you've made it. No, all lots of no's. Has anyone tried to make garlic butter in the Thermomix? So I know a lot of said no. Kylie, have you tried to make garlic butter? Oh, no. Okay. And to make garlic butter, all you need to do once it's ready is just re-thing it with some garlic in it, and it is beautiful. Oh, let's have a look, Kirsty.
It actually says at the bottom when you turn it on to prolong the time. So I am going to prolong the time because this looks like whipped cream, not butter.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do
the butter. Yes.
I'm going to go back.
Yes.
And then I'm going to go forwards to that step and just do 1 more minute.
Perfect. Di has made her butter. That's nice. Very nice. So butter is really, really great. And it's probably a lot cheaper to make your butter using cream, especially when it's really due to expire. Just chuck it in your Thermomix, whip it up like we're doing now. So has anybody been like me and tried to make whipped cream and has turned it into butter accidentally? I have definitely done that as well. Left my cream in there a bit too long and it became butter, which is like, oh dear. Oh no, oh yes, oh Barbara, yes. But you know, it's just butter then. It's all good.
So you may be able to, I may be able to organise to get you the recording
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So, Kirsty,
Okay, so-
how's it looking now?
I stopped that 20 seconds short, and that looks good.
Oopsie. I think I accidentally muted Kirsty.
Thanks,
Did I
Lena.
mute you? Thank you. Sorry,
Yeah.
my bad.
All good. I said I stopped at 20 seconds short.
Oh, perfect. That
and
looks
it's
great.
looking really buttery. So I've taken out the butterfly whisk, and it says to use the simmering basket to strain solid. And I'm going to put the buttermilk in the bowl and use it to make some. Just like that. It's not very hard to strain.
That looks
we've got
perfect.
and our buttermilk in there.
Yep.
And then now the recipe is telling me to put 500 grams of chilled water in the bowl. To be fair, I usually just get it out the tap, not out the fridge, but anyway. And then I put my butter solids into the bowl again.
Barbara's asked a great question. Is it cheaper to make your own butter than buying it?
Only, in my opinion, only if you get cream reduced to clear. Because butter's actually not as expensive as it used to be. If you can get it reduced to clear, 100% it's cheaper. I'm just going to take those last solids out. And put my lid back on. And it's mixing for 5 seconds at speed 4.
Okay, I am just going to pop over to Billy quickly just to see how her mayo is doing, and I'll be back very shortly. Okay, Billy, take it away. How are we going?
Very good. So we've just done the vinegar there. Now that's a good little wash for your bowl as well. I actually just did a vinegar wash before. I had curry and there was a little bit of staining down the bottom, so I was like, oh, I'm going to pre-wash that. Now I've cracked my eggs, popping on the lids, and now it tells me to turn the speed selector to 3. Meanwhile, follow the next step, which is to add the eggs through the hole. So I'm going to just do that. And there we go. And then going to mix it. And now what it is pop that lid back on, and then we're going to slowly add in our oil. There's some special little funnels here on the lids, and that's how we're going to add in that oil. So here's our next step. And I'm going to start doing that, Z.
Sure, yeah.
Cool. I'm going to turn that to speed 6.
So what's happening now, it is slowly trickling into her Thermomix while the blades are turning. And this is actually emulsifying it. So if you've never made cooked mayo before, don't be too worried that it's starting to load up on the top of your lid. The gaps will actually slowly drizzle it down in a perfect rate to make your nice creamed mayo for you. So just do what Billy's doing, just pour it on, drizzle it around the top of your lid, and it will eventually all work its way down during that time that you have your blades going. And that will be the end of your mayo, which will be finished very soon. How much longer have you got left, Billy? Have you got much time left on your blade, on your machine to go? Oh,
Quite hard to hear when the mix is going.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to come straight back over to you now, Kirsty.
Okay.
So Billy will be nearly finished her butter soon. I mean her mayo, and we are going to go to Kirsty. Take it away.
So I've finished the butter now. It just said to strain. Let me get that camera. Just said to strain the last of the solids and liquids away, and wrap it in Glad wrap to make it into your butter roll or shape or whatever you want, and put it in the fridge. But I'm actually going to keep it in here because I'm going to make it into ghee, as I said before. And I'm lucky enough to have 2 bowls. So I've got my second bowl in here where I'm going to start making my dough for my brunch bread. Am I stuffing it, making the dough, or making the dough and then stuffing it?
We're going to make the dough, and then we'll get your pre-one.
Okay.
We'll show the pre-made one after.
Okay, so I'm going to put 280 grams of warm water into my bowl. Those onions are smelling so good.
I can see the little steam coming off the lid of it.
Yeah,
Right.
it's terrible because I'm doing a juice cleanse, so I can't eat, and it smells so delicious. Okay, so 2 teaspoons of yeast.
And what is your tip when putting your yeast into the water?
A really good thing to remember is to put it on the side, not in the middle, because if it sits on top of your blades, it's obviously not going to be activated in the water. So be really careful where you place that spoon of yeast. And 20 grams of olive oil. $23, it's close enough. 2 teaspoons of salt. Have you got the rose gold measuring spoon, Dina?
I do. Does anyone on the chat have rose gold measuring spoons? Let us know if you do, because my biggest tip to you is if you have got them, do not put them in the dishwasher.
Yes, good tip.
Because they will be like you took them to Rotorua and put them in the geysers. So they are very pretty until you put them in the dishwasher. Then they are not very pretty after that. So
All right, gonna mix that up.
Great. How long is that mixing for?
4 seconds.
Perfect.
All right, now I'm going to add 500 grams of baker's flour. I meant to say too, another tip is the salt, also not to put the salt in the middle. Otherwise, because there's not enough liquid in there, it'll just sit on the top and go hard, which is not ideal. So now we're going to mix that up.
Okay, has anybody made bread before with their thermomixers? Can you let us know what bread you have made? Has anyone tried the pizza bianca or the basic bread rolls? I'd love to know what you have made with your thermomix if you have made bread. Not yet.
Love that, not yet.
I love the 5 seed bread. Yes, the pull apart. Yes, the sunshine pull apart bread. Definitely be brave and just give it a go. But like Kirsty said, the best tip is to make sure your yeast is on your water and your salt, not on your blades. So when you pour it in, just look over the edge of your bowl and just put it nicely onto that water. Focaccia, yes, that's very nice. But yes, the 5 seed bread, blueberry brioche buns. Okay, I haven't had dinner yet, but I'm getting very hungry now, reading out what everyone's making. The basic bread, lovely.
The Portuguese bread is one of my favourites.
That is very nice too.
Yes.
So what's the dough you've got there that you're rolling out there?
This is my brunch bread dough that I pre-made, and it's pre-proved.
Right.
So this has been sitting on top of my thermo server. We should all have one of these. This has got hot water in it. And so this is just pre-proved, and I'm just rolling it out ready to show you how to put the brunch bread together.
Amazing. All right, so if you haven't made the brunch bread, the good thing with this is that it's great for if you've got visitors coming over at short notice. It's great because it cooks really fast, but it also makes great lunchbox fillers for the kids when you cut them up and put them in their lunch boxes. It's great for that. Okie dokie. I am going to head over to Billy. Kirsty, are you okay?
Yep.
Let you continue doing your thing. I'm going to go back to Billy and we are going to make a coleslaw.
Right, well, that is our mayo there. Now just scrape down the sides. I'm going to add it to our vacuum seal. Now, have you seen our vacuum seals? Now, these are great. You can pick the date that you've popped it in with those little white numbers, the month and the date, and then you'll know how long ago you cooked it. So I'm just going to force them in because I only need a little bit for this recipe. I only need 2 tablespoons of the coleslaw. I mean the mayo, beg your pardon. So it's a great way to just go straight from a dirty bowl to this, really. So easy and quick. The vacuum seal is a host reward, if you didn't know as well. So if you're still new and waiting to have that delivery demo, when you have 2 guests plus you, it can become your host reward, which is such a cool one, the big one that is. That is, well, I've got one somewhere, 2.7, I think it is, litres. So we'll get on to this next recipe.
Sorry about my spelling in the chat, everyone. That's meant to say brunch, not brunch.
So here's
I
our
must be getting hungry. I can't even type properly now, guys.
Oh, mate. All right, so here we're going to start this new recipe. So I've popped everything into my bowl. Now, this is one of my favorite bowls from the mix shop as well. These have a great handle. They've got the silicone bottom so that they can't like sort of jump around. So in here, straight away is going in some cabbage. So the girl's going to be like, what are you doing to me? But there's our cabbage. Now underneath here, I have some apple and cucumber, apple, carrot, and red onion. That's all going in. Here it is. And so we're just going to skip those instructions. Now, if you didn't have those things, you know, you can change it up to whatever you like. Now, again, from the mix shop, I love this little bamboo bowl. Little pinch of salt. Little bit of pepper and me, black pepper mix, if you're a fan. Oh, next, we are just going to pop all that in. You got your mayo. Now I need my lid on my mayo. Insert the spatula and turn. All right. Now you don't need to worry about your spatula being eaten alive because we've got this amazing collar of it there, and it's a great safety feature. Well, that was very quick. We need to do a little bit longer, so yeah, it's going to do it a bit longer because I think it's a bit too chunky. What we could have used was the cutter to make it smaller and just do that, but tonight we're not using the cutter. Who's heard about the cutter? Who wants a cutter?
I love a cutter. I just don't love that not everyone can buy it at the moment.
Sorry.
But it is great to have one on your bench, I'll tell you.
Right, we're going to do it again.
Oh, great, Kylie. I hope it turns up. Great. Yay. I'm glad people have pre-ordered it.
Yay!
Cutter, yay.
Right. Now this can be how chunky you want it or how unchunky you want it. Now this is pretty chunky and it's pretty mayo-y too, but hey, I might have to take this to Zena's. Zena lives here in Tukura, down the road from me, and I know this is her kind of cold store. Just saying. But that's how quick and easy you can whip up salad. Have you tried the beetroot salad? That is a yummy one. And then there's the 5-seed salad as well. So is that strong enough to?
Is in the cutter strong enough or the Thermomix, Karen? Oh, it arrived in 3 days, Helen. The cutter is pretty sturdy. It can grate a kg block of cheese when you break it up in like 20 seconds. I kid you not. A kg block of cheese grated. It's very hearty. What is not hearty is the shaft that comes with it. If you accidentally leave it in your machine and go to the next stage, it will die. But yes, the cutter's great. We've had a great question, Billy. I want to ask you, could we use gluten-free flour for the brunch bread?
I reckon you could. I reckon you could.
Cool. We do.
I am gluten-free, and I find it very much depends on the flour that you use. I've been experimenting with my gluten-free flour and adding psyllium husk to make it a little bit more glutinous. So it's worth a try.
Right.
But I wouldn't say that it definitely would work, unfortunately.
For that.
That's an amazing. Thank you for that.
Yeah. All right, Billy, I'm going to head back over to Kirsty now. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, Kirsty, how are we going?
We are doing fab. The onions have finished, but I've just put my brunch bread together. So I think the recipe calls for spinach and broccolini and sun-dried tomatoes. But I just made my own version today because I didn't get home in time to pick any spinach out the garden, and my kids are probably thankful for that. So this is my bread, and in there I put some ham, some cheese, some sun-dried tomato, and some gherkin because my kids love gherkins. So this is going to be in the lunchbox tomorrow. I'm just sprinkling some sesame seeds on top, and then I'm going to chuck that in the oven with my sensor on. So I'm just going to go down to where it goes in the oven. Oh. Who's got a sensor?
Some people have pre-ordered, which is great, and some have arrived. Oh, no. I haven't talked about sensor. Actually, that was the cutter. Oh, no one's got a sensor, has said they've got a sensor yet.
Okay, so I'm going to poke that into my bread.
That's why you're poking that into your bread. Just letting everybody know in our chat that, oh, that looks fabulous. So you rolled it out onto like a flat, then you put your fillings at one end.
Yeah.
A rectangle, and then you put your fillings at one end and then rolled it up and then turn it into a circle.
Yeah,
perfect.
That's right.
All right. And how long do you leave that in the oven for, Kirsty?
That says 5 to 20 minutes at 200 degrees.
Perfect. Okie dokie. Thank you. All right. So how long for your onions, Kirsty?
So I'm just going to go next. Whoa, look at that. So good.
Gorgeous.
So now I have to add, I've got my timer on so I don't forget. Now I've got to add 20 grams of balsamic vinegar. You could put these in brunch bread actually. That'd be really yummy, wouldn't it?
They would be nice.
Okay, 20 grams of balsamic vinegar. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to do a little estimate. That's how I roll. And stir to combine. Oh, I've got some lovely caramelization on the bottom of the bowl. I don't know if you can see that. You see that?
Yes. That's
Beautiful.
Okay. That looks gorgeous.
I'll put that on. This time it is asking for the simmering basket. And that's going to do 3 minutes at 120 Z.
Perfect. Okie dokie. So while we're doing that, we've had some great questions asked in the chat about this sensor. Definitely charge it full before you use it, which is a great tip. My other tip is make sure your phone is charged too, because mine has gone flat. So that's my tip, my personal tip, if you're using the sensor. But you could always get your sensor to work on your machine as well with some of our recipes. So definitely make sure that they are all, how do I, I'm not going to bring you. They can see me, not you. Kirsty, they just all seeing you. I'll remove spot.
All right.
Yep, so that's my tip, is to make sure your sensor's fully charged and that your phone is charged too, especially if you're going to be like cooking. I put a pork in the oven that had to take like 4 hours and my phone died partway through it. So that's a great tip. Is a sensor worth buying? This is a great segue into what I am going to show you next. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you how you can get a sensor cheaper. Who would like to get a sensor and not have to pay full price? That is definitely me. I would like to get a sensor and not have to pay full price. So I'm just going to share with you in our chat. I just don't know where my share screen is. More. Okay, where's my share screen? Oh, geez. Okay, where's my share screen? Oh, here it is, that big green button. Here we go, found it. Okay, so this is how you can get a sensor without having to pay full price. Okay, I don't think we want to see everyone ourselves. Is everybody seeing the screen of this? There's so many reasons to host a demo. Great. Okay, so hopefully it's big enough for everybody to see. But up here in the red, between now and the 4th of June, that you can get us, this is the full price. $269 is the full price. If you host a demo with some friends, you and two, you can get it for $215. And if you have a friend at your demo who purchases, you can get it for $69. So if you don't want to pay full price for a sensor, get in touch with your consultant and set up a demo. They can be virtual. You could go to an online cooking class with some friends. I like the online idea because you can go in your pajamas. So that's just my FYI, how I would like to get it if I wanted to get me a sensor. I would like to do it online in my pajamas. So that's a great way to get it. So instead of paying the full price, you get $215. Also, when you do host, you get all these other options of host rewards that you can choose from. We've seen the VacuSeal used tonight. So the first column here is the full price of items, and the host price is the next one. And if one of your guests purchase while at your demo or after your demo, you can get a host reward for free. So I personally find the sensor valuable because I am really great at roasting my meat till it tastes like chewing gum. I am really bad. I get so nervous roasting meat that I stopped roasting meat. So I got my sensor. That's the first thing I did was I bought a slab of meat and I was able to roast it and it turned out gorgeous. And just being able to do that without opening the oven 20 million times because I'm always checking it because I'm so nervous. Just that peace of mind just made me know that that was an awesome investment. Also, if you like making breads, like making brioche buns, anything that you like making, cakes, it is great that it'll just work your temperatures out for anything you make. I've just recently made cheesy triangle scones with it, and I reckon they're better than Robert Harris ones, just quietly, with lots of butter. So that's my little tip there. It's up to you if you want to get a sensor or not. I felt that was a good investment, but I didn't want to pay full price for it. So go to an online cooking class with some friends, and you can get in touch with your consultant. Now, I do want to just come over and share a quick tip now about cookie dough quickly, because everyone owns a Thermomix on here, and some of you may still be new to your Thermomix. So I am going to do what I call my cookie dough 101 tips. So I'm just going to share my screen again, and I'm just going to quickly, and if you can open up your cookie dough on your phone, that will be really awesome. So then you can follow along as I am doing my little spiel. So Which screen am I sharing? Let me just go to the screen I'm sharing. Okay, let me just find where I'm going. Great. Okay, so I am going to come to my Explore. Is everybody seeing my cookie do screen? Can you just let me know in the chat if, are you looking at my cookie do screen?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Okie dokie. So I want to get rid of this. I'm just going to move all this. Great. So I am going to go to my Explore screen, and it has the whole welcome to, and it says hello. Yours might say hello, gorgeous, or whatever name you put there. So it will say that. So up in the top right hand side, you'll have your chef's hat. So if you're on your phone and while we're talking, tap on your chef's hat. If you're on your laptop, you can just tap on your chef's hat up in the top right hand corner. And we are going to go to our account. And in that account, you should be able to go into, oh, I see your membership, which is great. See your membership to see how long your membership is going for. And we're going to go into account overview, view details. Where am I trying to go, Billy? I'm trying to get into preferences. So I'm going to click on my hat and go into view profile. Sorry, view profile. And if you're on your phone, there'll be preferences under view profile. If you tap on preferences, you will see your filters. And if you scroll down to the end of your bottom of your preferences, hopefully my instructions weren't too confusing. If you're down on your preferences and you see Australia as your country, what we will do is we tick update filter. And if you update filter and you untick Australia, can you just make sure to untick Australia and then save your filter? Great. Hopefully you've been able to do that. Did anybody have Australia ticked as their filter?
Yeah.
Yep, great. Were you able to untick Australia? Yes, hopefully. So if you go back in and go on view profile and go into your preferences, you should be able to untick Australia off your filters. Okay. So hopefully that's been of some help. Billy, do you have any tips that you would like to share for Cookie Do that you would have handy?
Tips for cookie dough, if you like. I personally have all the recipes. Let's see if my phone. I'm using my phone. What you can do is get Google Translate on your phone, and you can actually read it over your Thermomix, and it will put it in English. So that's how I look at the other recipes that are in a different language. So that's
a great tip.
Yeah, because I prefer to have all the recipes available because I'm that guy. So I have no filters on mine, and that gives us 94,323. And you can use them with your phone. If I wasn't using my phone, but that's my little tips for cookie dough. The shopping is my favorite. What I do is share my username and password with my husband. He logs into his phone. I send him off to the supermarket, and all those little things that I need are tipped, and he can go along and pop them in the trolley if I'm busy with the kids or something. So the shopping cookie dough aspect is a fave as well for me.
Awesome, thank you. Kirsty, do you have a highlight that you have with your cookie dough?
My recommendation is to always read the tips at the bottom, because often it'll say you can swap out this for this, or you can do this to make it slightly different. And so I didn't do that for the first year that I heard cookie dough, and sometimes it's a life changer. That's a
great idea. And I'm going to share my screen just to show people where the heck those tips are, especially if you're super new and we're talking like, what the heck are you talking about? Thank you, Kirsty. So we come down here and you can see at the bottom of your recipe, there are tips and tricks. And like Kirsty said, most of our recipes have tips and tricks that we can use. and
Another
swap things out.
thing, Dee,
Yes.
is at the bottom of the recipe, it shows you where each recipe is from, which collection. So if you like that type of recipe, you can save that collection itself.
That is a great idea.
Mm.
And then you open up the collection and then you can save it there, which is what Kirsty has said. My other tip too with it is some of our recipes can be scaled. So when you look at a recipe, right underneath the picture on the far side, it has serving sizes. So you can actually scale down if it's just 2 of you home for the evening, and it will adjust your ingredients accordingly, which is amazing. So at the moment, we only need 50 grams of carrots for 2 servings. I'm going to put it to 6 people. We're having a big dinner that night with lots of people, and it adjusted my carrots up to 120 grams. So that's another little tip. So you're not wasting. So it's a great little tip to be able to do some scaling on some of our recipes. That is perfect. Okie dokie. How are we going, ladies?
We're good. I don't know. I might just bring my phone over here a bit closer and show you what my screen says for
That'd
the
be great.
sensor.
All right. I'm going to, hang on, I'll just spotlight you just a minute. There we go. Yes?
Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the first time I've actually used my sensor and not my phone app, because obviously I'm using my phone for the meeting. But that's telling me that there's 11 minutes till it gets to the right temperature. And my onions are smelling delicious. And I am actually going to put those into the next brunch bread because I used all my ham and cheese for the first time. So I'm looking forward to that. And now I've got my ghee cooking with the butter.
Oh, that is fantastic. And Billy, you have finished your bit there.
Yeah, so my the coleslaw is all put together in the bigger size bowl here. Now I could have chopped that up finer, but I like a chunky coleslaw. The tip, especially if you're new, again, the scales are on the feet of your Thermomix. So these glider boards, which are a host reward, are amazing because look, I can glide it. Now I have 2 Thermomixes, so Thermomix number 2 sitting waiting to come home. So I love that I can just do that and not worry about the scales being affected or anything like that.
Oh, that is perfect. And I'm glad that it was of service that we were able to share tips about the scaling. I think that is really, really important so we're not wasting food. I am going to share a couple more tips. Well, we've got about 10 minutes before Kirsty's bread is ready, and I would love for us to still be on to see her bread get done. So I'm just going to share my screen just one more time, just to share a couple more tips about cookie dough and just what we can do. Okie dokie. So if we go into explore and say you want to do something vegan, so you might want to do, we actually do have what we call a vegan fruity dream. And it takes us to the vegan fruity dream, and it's showing there. When you look at these, right next to the word vegan, there are recipes. If you click on that drop down box next to it, it shows you collections, which is what Kirsty was talking about. So if you go into that collection, you can see all these different books. Obviously, some are not in English. So you look for the ones that are English, and I'm going to go to vegan desserts because I'm a bit of a sugar head. So I feel if it's vegan, it's healthy, right? So it makes it even, you know. And the great thing too, I'm just kidding myself. Oh, what the heck. But is that you can save the whole cookbook, and that saves you from having to go in and save each recipe individually. So I'm going to save all that. Oh my gosh, it's just made me hungrier. What the heck are these? Don't they look amazing?
So good. Those
Yes. Yes. Okay, and then when you go into my recipes, which will be one of those great icons if you're on your phone at the bottom of your phone, if you go into my recipes, I'll go into there now. And if you tap on saved in your recipes, you will see your saved recipes that you've brought over, and created recipes is where you will see your other ones that you've done for your cook when you've created your collections. So my other big tip too, this is all my collections. I'm a new grandmother, so I'm a bit OTT with my baby food collection at the moment. But my great tip is that please invest time in saving collections. The reason why I suggest to invest time into saving collections is that if your Wi-Fi goes down and you have problems cooking, you will be able to cook without Wi-Fi, and that is really, really important to know, because I've been caught out without Wi-Fi and needed to cook dinner, and I haven't been able to cook because I had no Wi-Fi, and that's a bit annoying. So even if you don't think you're going to use that recipe, still save it into a collection, because it'll probably be the one day you want to use that recipe, your Wi-Fi's gone down. And sometimes with winter and the trees falling and that, you know, things happen, and you still want to cook dinner and Wi-Fi is down. So invest time in saving your collections, because they will save you without Wi-Fi. And that's a great tip. Is there anything, someone asked a great question. I need to go into the chat. What was the question? How many, you want to see that part of the chat?
Yeah.
How many can you save? Well, let me just share with you my collections. And that should give you an indication of just how, you know, you can go crazy with collections, which I have done. Where is my collections? Where is my collections? I need to go there. Yeah, so on my left-hand side, here's all my collections, and it starts at A, and I think I've got, yeah, here we go. Oh, cocktails. I think my dessert collection, I'll just go to my dessert. Yep, I've got 64 recipes in my dessert collection. Yeah, so I really like my desserts. But as you can see from me going down the side here of my screen, I think I might have maybe 100 collections. I think I've got a lot, and that's, yeah, that's a lot. So I haven't exhausted the collections. Oh, geez, it's just kicked me out of my thing. I logged myself out accidentally. So collections, I would just go crazy with them. Bookmarking is different. So bookmarking is your go-to. They're like your top 10 things you make all the time. So bookmarking for me is porridge, because we have a lot of porridge in winter. If it's something you know that you and your family are going to go to, at your go-to meal. So bookmarking, the reason why I say your top 10 or so is bookmark, because that's the very first icon you see when your machine wakes up and you go in, it's bookmarks. So bookmarks are those ones that you don't really want to be scrolling through heaps of bookmarks. But yeah, that's a difference. So it is a collection, but for me, it's like my top 10. It's probably expanded to my top 30.
There
Yeah.
is unrestricted collections though, 100. You can only download them, and you want to modify them.
Okay, 100 collections is your limit.
100 recipes in that created collection.
Oh, yes, yes. So you can actually import your own recipes into Cookie-Doo. So if there's a recipe that's been handed down through your family over the years and you really, really love it, put it into a created collection, and you can do 100 of those. I have met people who have added 100 and they've had to actually delete some. So I haven't quite got to the 100 yet. But yeah, if anyone wants to add in the chat how many collections that I've created so far, I'd be curious to know. Oh, there we go. Hang on, Kirsty. I'm just going to spotlight Kirsty, everybody. She's going to share with us her perfectly cooked brunch bread that has been made with her sensor. As you can see, that texture is just golden and beautiful. I have made the brunch bread and I have burnt the top of it because I didn't use the sensor. That looks gorgeous.
Thank you. And it really isn't hard. It says on the recipe difficulty medium, but it's not rocket science.
I'll tell you what, if Kirsty can make it, no, actually, if I can make it, anyone can make it, because I am good at burning things. Hey, thank you, Kirsty. So that looks yum. I think it might be too hot to cut at the moment, hey, for us to have a look inside. Is it still too hot?
Shall I try?
Just be careful if you've got cheese in it, I'd say. But yes, because I'm a bit nosy.
Okay.
And about
You know, we put all this effort in. I want to. Yes, I reckon, Helen. I'm so hungry, ladies. Whoever's joined, I have not had dinner yet. So this is just made me super hungry.
Wow, that looks so good.
Oh man, Kirsty.
So it's not as
That
pretty
is
as it would be if it had spinach in it. It's probably lacking a little bit of colour, but looks
what
pretty
I
strong.
like is that it's great to get rid of anything in the fridge that's leftovers, right?
Yeah.
Just roll your dough out and just drop in, like if you had a roast the night before, chop up all your roast veggies and your leftover beef or whatever, and then roll it up. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. Okie dokie. So tonight we have made with everybody, we've made our caramelized onions, we've made some butter, we have made a bread, our brunch bread, we have made coleslaw, and we have made a beautiful mayonnaise. So ladies, can we just share screens and I will paste you all, and if you can hold up what you've made tonight, because we are nearly coming to the end of our evening. Thank you everybody for joining us. I do apologize if you were in the waiting room. That is my fault. I'm obviously not great at letting people in on time, so I do apologize if you were in the waiting room for a little longer than you needed to be in there. But I'm just going to get Billy to share her screen to add spotlight. Great. Beautiful. Love it. Thank you, ladies. You did amazing. I'm so grateful that you volunteered your time to jump on tonight to do our cooking for us. And everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We run these classes every month, so go and be brave with your Thermomixers, everybody. Just go out and do your thing and wow your family and friends and just have fun. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Good night.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.